Alright, what's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Word Salad. This is our update video where we talk about stuff we read and we're gonna read and videos we're making and our friends and just anything in general that I kind of feel like talking about. Up first, we're going to mention, as we usually do, the next episode of the Elusive Exclusive Book Society, which is with my friends Jake at Pulp Mortem and Tim Secret Fire Books. Our next episode, we will be discussing Burial Rites by Michael Scott here. This is a horror book, a novel of resurrected horror. We always have special guests on the eaves. And our special guest this time is Brian from Bad Taste Books. And Sam from Night Nerves. Samson, I want to talk to Samson, who will be his first time on the eaves. We will be discussing this wonderful horror book, or maybe it's not wonderful. I don't know. I'm only 2 chapters in. I'm enjoying it so far, but it could go down the toilet quick. That will be, did I already say the date? Yeah, April 19th at 7 p.m. It's live on my channel. So you guys can come in, you can comment. Maybe we'll pick your comment to be highlighted and we'll talk about it, depending on what you want to say. If you want to take out any aggression on any of the Eaves members, you can just email Jake directly. You don't have to do it in the live stream. Speaking of Jake, the last episode we did was the Parasaurians here over on Jake's channel. Our guest was Richard from Vintage SF. It was a lot of fun, and there was disagreements of enjoyment, and we talked a lot about Jurassic Park because it's very Jurassic Park. So go check that out over on Pulp Mortem if you guys are still subscribed to him. I have a correction that I need to talk about, that I said the wrong thing. Oh, where are all these books? I thought I had them all together. So in my last book haul video, I showed this here, Hotel Hostess by Brad Curtis, and in the video I said that that's his real name, not a pseudonym, and I was incorrect. So, as usual, my mentor, my vintage paperback collecting mentor, Steve Nagin, pointed me in the right direction, as he always does, and he said Brad Curtis was a pseudonym for Western author Giles A. Lutz. So, thank you, Steve. By the way, I'm halfway through. Loving it. It's aces, brother. It's aces. Alright, so we still have the Terror Trackers yet to come out. That's going to be on the Paperback Warrior. That was a discussion with me and Brian and Eric. And I haven't watched it yet, but I was there for the recording. Even though while you're recording and you're talking, you don't really realize what you're saying and how it's coming out. But I feel like it was fun, So that should be coming out, I don't know, maybe even before this video. Maybe it's already out. I don't know. Depends on how fast I can get this sucker done. I did a review on the Six Gun Samurai. If you haven't checked that out, I've already filed it away, but there we go. It's a Western samurai book. If you're into that, if you're into gore, if you're into East Meets West, if you're into heads getting chopped off, if you're into... We're not even going to bring it up. We're not even going to bring it up again. It's the one time in the review was enough. If you're into really disgusting stuff, go check that out. I was a guest. I was invited as a guest on the very first, I don't know if it's officially called this, Literal Spaces. And it was on Liminal Spaces, Chris, and it's him and Virgil from Literally Books. And they are starting like a live show. They're going to have like a live show where they just, I think it's unscripted. Whoops. Speaking of unscripted, I think it's unscripted. So they're not going to have a theme. And it's just going to be talking books. And it was a lot of fun. And we were on the first one. Me and the fellows from Eaves, plus Brian, the 4th Eve. And I was very flattered. Liminal Spaces is the big time, I was on the big stage. Someone came and plucked your little fish out of his little pond, dropped him in the big stage, and it was my time to shine. I was up there for the world to listen. 18,000 subs listening to what I had to say. Sort of, because I forgot to plug my microphone in. And you're probably wondering, don't you do lots of videos with Jake and Tim and Brian, and they know what you usually sound like? And it seems like one of them would have said something during the video, like, hey man, we can't hear you. Hey Nick, you don't sound right. I think they did it on purpose. They saw we were on the big stage. They wanted to bring themselves up, leave me down at the bottom in my little pond, so they didn't say a word. That's the way I feel about it. You know, they did it on purpose. But thank you to Chris and Virgil for letting us come on in all of our ridiculousness. It was cool. It was very cool just to chat books. I got lost a little bit on some of the stuff we talked about. I don't know anything about the Conan comics. I don't know anything about that, and some of the other stuff we talked about. And speaking of friends, our friends from YouTube, as if we don't talk about them enough, Ben from Grammaticus was in town. He was here. It was so cool. I got to hang out with him live and in person. It was a lot of fun. We met up at the Bookery in Fairborn. The Bookery had just got in like a bunch of pulp magazines, the original pulp magazines. The Bookery is a very collectible type store, very curated. They don't have common stuff. I guess they have a little bit, but I don't know. Everything is, he knows, he's so in that collector world, the owner, that he buys collections from people who've been doing it for 50 years. So everything, he gets so much gold in there. It's almost like a museum. Yeah. So Ben is in town, and we're at the Bookery looking through stuff, and I picked up some pulps here. I showed them in the Liminal Spaces video, so you might as well just show them here. And of course, they're going to be in the book haul at the end of the month. There's a Weird Tales. I had a list. Where's my list? I printed off a list before I went. So I had, these are all of the Manly Wade Wellman stories that were ever published in Weird Tales. So I had all the issue numbers. There's 48 Manly Wade Wellmans. And that was pretty much what I was looking for. I was looking for the Wellman stories. So this Weird Tales was one of them. So it has Manly Wade Wellman. It also has Robert E. Howard and H.P. Lovecraft, but they are poems. So Edmund Hamilton, Seabury Quinn, and Clark Ashton Smith. So that was great. It was $35. It's graded as a 2.0. If you know your pulp grading. So after we did that, me and Ben headed over to get some Vietnamese food at What the Pho. Where else would someone like me eat but at a restaurant called What the Pho? And it was fun just getting to chat and hang out, you know? Then after lunch, we stopped by Half Price Books because it was right there. And yeah, just a great time all around. If you're ever in Dayton, hit me up. We'll go book shopping. I'm that person that's gonna be like, you should just buy it. You know what? Don't even think about it. Just buy it. Should I get this? Yes. You don't want to miss it. You're never gonna find it again. You might as well just get it. It's right here in your hand. That's me. That's who you'd be shopping with. All right. So our red section. Where's our red section? We read not a lot. After the last video, I got really busy with work. So it was funny because I was like, oh, I want to watch all of your videos. And then literally the next day, I was slammed to just working all day long. So I got behind and I didn't... It took me a minute to go watch everybody's stuff. So I read The Gang Girl Don Elliott. This is Robert Silverberg. I read this as a buddy read with Chris over at Speculative Reader, and we're gonna discuss Gang Girl on my channel. I don't think it's gonna be live. I don't know. I don't want to say anything else about it because you gotta watch it. Or I guess we'll say what it's about. It's about this young lady in New York City in I think it's the 50s or the 60s, and she's basically a sociopath. She's a gangster. She is gangster as, and she joins this street gang, and then it's her rise to the top, and she is brutal, man. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, that's enough of that. And then we also are reading, though I haven't finished it, is Elmer Leonard's The Moonshine War. This was sent to me from Jake at Paul Burnham when he got that big box of free books. And this is about some moonshiner who inherited a bunch of whiskey that his dad made, and it's like a legend around their small Kentucky mountain town that he has all this like $100,000 worth of this whiskey, and one of the Prohibition officers knows the guy from their time in the army, and he knows about this whiskey, and so he shows up in town, and I don't know, I'm only like right there. So I don't know much more about it, but it looks to be pretty dramatic. I just love that era. I was very much into bluegrass music, old-timey music, and I just like that era of time and the location, the mountains right there, Appalachia. So I am enjoying it. And I said last time that Pachuco here was going to be on the 2BR. I never got to it. That's how busy I've been. I pretty much just finished Gang Girl, started the Moonshine War for a minute, burial rites, and so I'm not very, very well read this video. So let's talk about our social media shenanigans. We got, let's see. So we have a Facebook group, we have Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, and a blog. I'll actually mention it this time. So on our Instagram, not on our Instagram, on Instagram, there is an account called Vintage Book Flex, and he posted a Hawk review of Down Under and Dirty. And, we love Hawk around here, so anytime I see a Hawk, especially with a review on it, I want to talk about it. Did the review, he said that the Down Under and Dirty, the Australian episode of Hawk, was better than Virgin Steelers was better than Down Under and Dirty. So I thought that was interesting because I felt the opposite. I thought Down Under and Dirty was more fun. Mainly because I guess I just didn't like the snuff stuff with the Virgin Steelers. So yeah, go follow him on Instagram. And the review is there, and he also posted it in our Facebook group. So if you go to our Facebook group, the link down there, and find his post, there it will be. And then you can read his review of Hawk Down Under and Dirty. I think I have one too. Maybe I'll link that also. You can compare them. Let's see. Also on Instagram, this is a little made me tear up a little bit. Bury Me in Books posted a book. It was Into the Maelstrom, which is so he posted the Into the Maelstrom, which is a Warhammer book, and I don't know anything about Warhammer, but at the bottom of the post it says that they've been planning to start posting again for a while but never got around to it. The YouTube videos and Instagram posts from the book graveyard gave the inspiration to jump back in. Me? No, seriously, I have zero self-esteem. So thank you very much for putting stuff like that out there. You have no idea how much it makes my day when people say stuff like that. So yeah, go follow Bury Me in Books on Instagram. I can't put a link down there. It doesn't work from YouTube, but just go search Bury Me in Books. All right, so we're up to, let's see. All right, so for our favorite YouTube videos that other people have posted, these are just ones we enjoyed. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more people that I want to mention. I just want to say that if I haven't mentioned you yet, I'm going to. So we're just going to mention a few here. So we're going to mention first one is from Coral from Pretty in Paper Cuts. You guys know Coral. She was the guest on the Elusive Exclusive Book Society Halloween episode where we did Shadow over Innsmouth. That's how I say it.
But today we are joined by one of the cool kids, Coral from Pretty in Paper Cuts.
Hey, losers!
It was a really fun episode where everyone dressed up in costumes. She was the Herbert West reanimator. And yeah, so her video is a mini bookshelf tour, the vintage horror paperbacks, nonfiction, true crime. And in the video, she goes through and shows off all of these, all the books, all the vintage books. What am I'm talking words. So in the video, she goes through and shows off her books. In particular, the ones that I was interested in was the horror, the 80s paperbacks from hell horror books that she shows. She has ones that I've never seen, ones that I desperately need. And it was a nice, fun, relaxing video, and it was cool to hear her opinions when she talks about the ones that she read. And Coral's very cool, and if you're not following her, then you should follow her. The next video I wanted to mention is a new channel, and that is Check Your Shelf. They did a video called The Greatest Men's Adventure Series Ever. It's the Barbarous series. I've read one of them. It was pretty great. It was like a militia team that goes after a supremacist group and takes them down. The guys are Paul and Steve. Check Your Shelf is Paul and Steve. And I really like that there's two of them, and they get to. It's a very natural conversation. It's airtight, man. It's solid, and it reminds me of a podcast. How smooth it is, how well spoken they are, and they still have the personality. It's they're not just reading the smart stuff off of a script. And they say interesting things, and they talk about all kinds of books, even like literature stuff, which I don't know anything about. They did a funny video where they did Mountains of Madness. They're talking about Mountains of Madness, and they have this. It's in black and white. There's this snow effect. They're wearing winter clothes, and it's pretty funny. So you should go check them out. They're a new channel, just started not too long ago, but they did say that they have been doing podcasts for years, which makes sense because it's very legit. And the last YouTube video we're going to mention this time is another new channel, Jeff's Cave of Cool Books. And his video that I'd like to highlight is a look at Worst Things Waiting by Manly Wade Wellman. He has this first edition hardcover of Worst Things Waiting, and it's frickin' signed. And it was by, I forget all the details. Damn it. I didn't write it down either. But it was by this publisher, I think Carl Edward Wagner, and some friends had a little publishing house there for a minute, and they put this out. And I was so jealous, and I got online. I wanted to see if I could find one, and I did. And they were like $500 to have the signed one. You could get the non-signed one for $100. And I was this close to buying it. But I was like, I really want the signed version. So do I hold out? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need it, though. I need it. So yeah, go follow Jeff. He's already posted lots of awesome things. If you like this stuff, if you like stuff I talk about here, he talks about that. All of our little crew. He's one of us. One of us. One of us. Jeff, you're one of us. Welcome to the party. So go follow all three of those, and we will be mentioning other channels in the future. So if I didn't mention you yet, I'm gonna. Don't you worry. So that's it for this time. I don't have any new releases to mention, and I don't have anything else to say. So tune in next Saturday for Eves for Burial Rites, 7 p.m. right here on the Book Graveyard. Subscribe and stuff if you want. And I'll see you later.